You adjust the thermal lining of your gloves. The fabric hums against your skin. It is time to work. Most people plant seeds in dirt. You plant lightning in the void. You stand on the observation deck of the spire. The view outside is not empty space. It is a swirling field of violet and gold energy. This is your garden. You check the monitors on your wrist. The pressure levels are rising. A young storm is brewing near the third quadrant. You step out of the airlock. Gravity boots lock you to the hull. The silence of space is heavy here, but you feel the vibration through your soles. You raise a conductive rod. It looks like an old shepherd's crook made of silver. You point it at a drifting cloud of plasma. A spark jumps. The cloud ignites into a beautiful web of electricity. It grows faster than a weed in summer. You navigate the hull with practiced ease. This is dangerous work. One slip could fry your suit, but you love it. You guide the arcs of energy into neat rows. They crackle with potential. This harvest will be good. It could power a star system for a year. You notice a small fluctuation to your left. A tiny blue spark spins the wrong way. It refuses to join the main current. You approach the rebellious spark. It feels different. It does not feel like random energy. It feels like a signal. You gently nudge it with your rod. The spark expands. It is not just energy. It is a tear in the fabric of the dark. You stare at the opening. It is small, no bigger than your hand, but the noise coming from it is immense. You hear whispering. It's not wind. It sounds like voices. Thousands of them. They are faint and distant. You check your audio sensors. The sensors show nothing but static. The sound is in your head. You lean closer to the rift. The voices become clearer. They are calling for help. It sounds like a desperate prayer from a drowning world. You realize this is no ordinary storm anomaly. The garden has caught something from the deep. You need to stabilize it. You cannot let it grow wild. You channel power from the main grid. You feed the rift energy. It drinks the power greedily. The tear widens. It reveals a glimpse of something far away. You see a nebula drifting in a sea of red dust. The voices grow louder. They are distinct now. You hear panic. You hear orders shouted in a strange tongue. Something is happening on the other side. You have bridged a gap across light years. The garden pulses in rhythm with the voices. You realize the potential here. This is not just a listening post. It is a door. You decide to draw more power. You need to anchor this connection. You turn to the storm you just planted. The lightning is ripe. You raise your rod high. You act as the lightning rod. A massive bolt strikes the tip of your staff. Your suit batteries scream in protest. You channel that raw fury into the rift. The tear stabilizes into a perfect circle. A surge of feedback hits you. It is not painful. It feels like waking up after a long sleep. The surge travels down the spire. It lights up forgotten systems. Lights flicker on in the lower levels. Dust shakes off old machinery. You check the station diagnostics. Efficiency is up 400%. You have awakened the station's true purpose. It was never just a farm. It was a hub. You look at the rift again. It is a window now. You see ships. They are ragged and broken. They drift near the red nebula. They are running on fumes. You understand the mission now. You are not just growing storms. You are a lighthouse keeper. You hurry back to the airlock. You need to access the lower levels. The surge unlocked doors that were sealed for centuries. You descend the main lift. The air here smells stale. It smells like ozone and old oil. You reach the basement sector. The walls are lined with basalt. This stone is not from here. It is ancient. You find a pedestal in the center of the room. A relic sits upon it. It is a simple geometric shape. It hums with a low tone. The sound vibrates in your chest. You recognize the design. It belongs to the Elder Ones. They were the architects of this sector. Most people think they are a myth. You know better. You touch the relic. The hum changes pitch. It becomes a song. The floor lights up with star charts. They show the location of the Red Nebula. The relic is a key. It summons the Guardians. You hear heavy mechanical footsteps above you. The station's automated defenses are waking up. They remember their old masters. You are the new master. You run back to the surface. The storm outside is wilder now. The relic has agitated the garden. The lightning is not just white and blue. It is turning crimson. You need to shape this. You cannot let it consume the station. You activate the Tempest Forge. This is a tool you built yourself. It is a containment field generator. You manipulate the controls. The field wraps around the crimson lightning. You compress the storm. You squeeze it until it becomes solid. It takes the shape of a massive blade. It is a sword made of pure wind and fire. It hangs in the void above the station. It sings a high-pitched note. It is ready to cut. You look through the rift. The ragged ships are closer. Something is chasing them. You see shadows moving in the dark. They are hunting the survivors. You cannot step through the rift, but you can send help. You aim the storm blade. You align it with the portal. You release the magnetic clamps. The blade shoots forward. It passes through the rift without a sound. On the other side, chaos erupts. The blade slices through the empty void. It creates a barrier between the ships and the shadows. The shadows recoil. They fear the light. The survivors pause. They see the weapon hanging in space. They see it is protecting them. You have bought them time. You widen the portal. You signal the ships. You use the relic to broadcast a safe frequency. They hesitate. Then the lead ship turns. It limps toward the rift. You prepare the station to receive them. You clear the docking bays. You raise the glass arches. These are shielding structures. They were meant for delicate plants. Now they will shelter people. The first ship glides through. It is scarred by laser fire. The hull is scorched. It passes under the glass arches. The storm outside rages against the shield. But inside, it is calm. The light from the garden reflects off their hull. It makes the damaged metal shimmer. It looks like gold. You see faces pressed against the viewports. They look terrified. More ships follow. It is a ragged fleet. There are civilian transports. There are mining barges. They are all wounded. You guide them into the safety of the crystalline refuge. You watch the energy readings. The shields are holding. The garden is protecting them. You feel a strange sense of pride. This is better than a good harvest. You meet the leaders in the hangar. They are a diverse group. Some are tall and thin. Others are short and stout. They wear tattered uniforms. They look at you with awe. To them, you are a wizard. You control the lightning. They kneel before you. You tell them to stand. You are just a gardener. They tell you their story. They are the covenant of light bearers. They refuse to bow to the darkness. They lost their worlds, but they kept their oaths. They pledge their loyalty to you. They offer to help tend the garden. You accept. You need hands. The storm is growing, and the enemy is still out there. You distribute tasks. The engineers help fix the station. The soldiers man the defenses. The garden becomes a hive of activity. You feel the bond forming. Their oaths bind you to their fate. You are no longer alone. You have a crew, and you have a cause. The relic hums in approval. Alarms blare across the station. The sensors pick up a massive signal. The shadows have found the rift. They are crossing over. You rush to the command deck. You look at the main screen. Hostile silhouettes blot out the starlight. They are huge. They look like jagged shards of obsidian. They do not reflect light. They absorb it. You count 5 capital ships. They are followed by a swarm of fighters. They move like a single organism. They are coming for the refugees. You grab the controls of the storm grid. You wake up the garden. Every seed of lightning you planted is now a weapon. You feel the power coursing through the station. You are ready. The enemy opens fire. Green beams of energy slash through the dark. They hit the glass arches. The shields flare. The station shakes. Dust falls from the ceiling. You grit your teeth. You wait for the right moment. You need them closer. You need them in the thick of the storm. Hold steady, you whisper. The enemy fleet advances. They think you are weak. They ignore the drifting clouds of plasma. That is their mistake. They enter the kill zone. You slam your hand on the activation panel. The garden explodes into life. Bolts of lightning strike from every angle. It is a cage of thunder. The thunder clashes with their steel hulls. Sparks fly like fireworks. The enemy shields flicker. They were prepared for lasers. They were not prepared for raw nature. A fighter squadron is vaporized instantly. The capital ships groan under the assault. The battlefield trembles. You direct the flow with your hands. You are conducting a symphony of destruction. You spot the flagship. It is a monstrosity of black metal. It is charging a main weapon. The energy signature is massive. If it fires, the station is dust. You cannot let that happen. You focus all available power. You target their engine core. You twist the magnetic fields. You want to rip it open. The enemy engine sputters. It is leaking raw power. The violet flame bleeds into space. You see an opportunity. You do not just want to destroy it. You want to harvest it. You deploy the collector drones. They fly into the heart of the battle. They are like metal bees. They swarm the leaking engine. They siphon the escaping energy. They beam it back to the spire. The station's power levels skyrocket. You are stealing their fire. The enemy captain realizes what is happening. He tries to retreat. It is too late. The flagship stalls. It is dead in the water. You have drained them dry. The other ships panic. Their formation breaks. You use the excess power. You feed it into the verdant circuit. This is the station's life support system. It was damaged years ago. You stitch the broken conduits with living wire. The energy acts as a suture. The circuit blooms. Lights turn from emergency red to soothing green. Fresh air cycles through the vents. The hum of the station changes. It sounds healthy. It sounds alive. The refugees cheer. You can hear them through the comms. You have turned a weapon of war into a breath of life. The garden is thriving on the conflict. But the battle is not over. The rift is unstable. The enemy's arrival tore it open further. It is expanding. It is swallowing distant suns. Gravity waves are hitting the station. You need to close it, or at least seal it. You check the relic. It is pulsing rapidly. It offers a solution. You must steer the storm into the breach. You need to plug the hole with high-density plasma. It is risky. If you miss, the backlash will kill everyone. You take a deep breath. You tell the fleet to brace. You channel everything you have left. You guide the remaining storm clouds. They swirl into a funnel. You aim the funnel at the ascendant rift. You push. The storm enters the portal. It acts like a cork. The rift fights back. It tries to spit the energy out. You hold the line. You pour your will into the guidance system. The relic aids you. It amplifies your focus. The rift begins to shrink. The edges sew themselves together. The violet light fades. The pull of gravity lessens. With a final flash, the portal seals. The enemy ships on the other side are cut off. The ones here are stranded. They surrender. The silence returns to space. It is a peaceful silence. You slump in your chair. You are exhausted. Your hands are shaking. But you are alive. The survivors hail you. They speak of a world beyond the metal. They tell you about their home. It was green and lush. They miss the soil. They miss the rain. Their stories fuel your imagination. You realize the garden can be more. It does not just have to be energy. You look at the new power reserves. You have enough energy to terraform. You can build a biosphere inside the glass arches. You can give them a home. You start planning the next planting. This time, you will plant real seeds. Time passes. Light filters through the dissipating clouds. The storm scars on the station fade. Greenery begins to grow under the arches. Real vines twist around the metal struts. The air smells like wet earth and ozone. It is a unique scent. The garden thrives. It spreads its roots. The refugees settle in. They build homes among the lightning trees. They call you the gardener. It is a title of honor. Ships from other sectors start to arrive. They have heard the rumors. They come to trade. They come to see the miracle. The station becomes a beacon. Your name becomes legend. It is whispered among wandering ships. They tell stories of the gardener who cultivated storms. They say you can turn lightning into life. You stand on the observation deck again. You watch the stars. You are content. The storm you cultivated endures. It is a shield, it is a home, and it is beautiful. You check your gloves. The fabric is worn, but strong. There is always work to do. A new nebula is drifting close. It looks promising. You smile. You grab your rod. You head for the airlock. The garden is waiting, and the harvest is never truly done. Think of it like mowing the lawn, except the grass is radioactive. And the lawnmower is a spaceship. Just another Tuesday in the void. You step out into the light. The silence breaks. The storm welcomes you back. You are home.